Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Day. I'd like to tell you about my journey of personal growth. I grew up playing soccer, softball, and basketball. I played all three of these sports year round, and as you can imagine, it was incredibly strenuous on my body. Sports were my entire life. I got scraped up plenty, but never received any serious injuries. For a few years, I'd been having issues with my right ankle. After doing physical activity like playing sports or even walking for long periods of time, it was very painful. I'd ignored the building pain for close to 2 years, and I knew it was past time to get it looked at. I scheduled an appointment with a reputable doctor at an orthopedics office. At this point, I'd convinced myself that I was overreacting and that there was nothing wrong. I arrived at my appointment and proceeded to get x rays taken, after which I was brought in to see the doctor who did an exam on my ankle. When that was finished, the doctor looked at me and said, "We saw something on the x ray." That's when I knew something was seriously wrong. He showed me the x ray pointing to some darkened cartilage and explained that had an osteochondral lesion of the talar dome. He then continued to explain to me that this meant I'd suffered an injury to a spot of cartilage in my ankle, likely as a result of an ankle sprain that never healed. At that point, I was so surprised that there was actually something wrong, I didn't know what to think. Just the day before, I'd been at an informational meeting about high school freshman winter track. I was that sure that nothing was actually wrong. My doctor then ordered an MRI, saying that after he got the image, we would determine a course of action. I proceeded to get the MRI, and 2 weeks later, I met with my doctor again. He told me that he wanted me to wear a boot for 6 months in addition to doing physical therapy. The hope was that the lesion would heal itself, given some time of immobilization and therapy. I, of course, was devastated. I'd made the decision to drop soccer and basketball and keep my focus on softball. But this meant I wouldn't be able to play softball in my freshman year or run track. That was a tough pill to swallow. Those 6 months of immobilization and physical therapy were slow and very difficult physically and mentally. But I continued to work hard in hopes that I'd be able to get back to my active lifestyle. After the 6 months, my doctor told me I could finally take my boot off. I was excited and beyond ready. I took the boot off and started slowly incorporating physical activity. And then the pain came back, exactly how it had been 6 months ago. I scheduled another appointment with my doctor, and he scheduled another MRI. After which, he told me it hadn't healed at all and that I needed surgery. I thought I was devastated before, but this was a whole new level. The idea of surgery and not being able to walk or play softball for even longer was hard. My anxiety was high and I was depressed. I couldn't do what I loved and I didn't know what else to do. It came time for my surgery, which in itself wasn't horrible, but it was still a difficult time. I went through a long and painful recovery process, but then it was finally over and I could get back to my life. I started playing softball in high volume again. I got my driver's license and I felt happy. Then the pain came back again. I tried to ignore it. I thought it was just still healing. But by the end of my fall softball season, I could barely play. It was so painful. Somehow the pain was worse than before. I dreaded it going back to my surgeon and finding out what this meant. But I went, I got another MRI, and then I had a choice to make. I could either leave it the way it was, or I could have them do a repeat surgery in hopes that this time it would work. I was skeptical of it working this time, but in the end, the pain was too much. I had the second surgery. That surgery was almost 9 months ago, and over those 9 months, I put the work in. I did more physical therapy, I learned how to walk, drive, and play softball again. I wish I could say the pain was gone and that my injury healed, but the pain is still there, and I'm probably looking at another more extensive surgery. Now, you may be wondering why I'm telling you this sob story and wondering where the personal growth I mentioned comes into play. I've spared many details from this story due to the fact that it spans almost 3 years, but in those 3 years, I've learned and grown so much. I became dedicated to school, and as a result, I'm receiving my associate's degree in psychology when I graduate high school next year. I discovered hobbies that I love. I learned the importance of having family and friends there to support me through hard times. And most importantly, I learned to listen to my body when it's in pain and how to prioritize my physical and mental well being. I try to have a positive outlook on the situation and remember that when a door closes, a window opens. It's been a long, tiresome, and difficult journey, and it still is, but I've learned invaluable lessons along the way. I've grown into a better version of myself, and I hope to keep growing so I can reach my full potential. Thank you.